Hello guys, so now we shall be discussing about the life cycle of Taenia, right? So we shall be discussing the life cycle of Taenia Solium as well as Taenia Saginata, okay? So we shall be discussing the life cycle of both Taenia Solium as well as Taenia Saginata. Now, the important thing which you need to know is that the life cycle of Taenia Solium as well as Taenia Saginata, both of them are almost similar. The only difference between Taenia Solium and Taenia Saginata is regarding the structure of the scolex, which I will be telling you what is scolex and all. But the only difference, the main difference which lies between Taenia Solium and Taenia Saginata is that the intermediate host is different, okay. For example, the definitive host for Taenia Solium and Taenia Saginata is man. The definitive host is man. The definitive host is man. Okay. Now, when it comes to Taenia Solium, the intermediate host, when it comes to Taenia Solium, the intermediate host, here will be pig. The intermediate host here will be pig. Now, when it comes to Taenia Saginata, the intermediate host here, it will be cow. Okay, it will be cow. But the definitive host for both of them will be the man. So I hope all of you know what is the definitive host and what is an intermediate host, right? A definitive host in the sense where the sexual stages occur is the definitive host, where the asexual stages occur is the intermediate host. Now let us discuss the life cycle. Okay. Now how a man is gonna be infected, right? He is gonna get infected with this Taenia Solium as well as Taenia Saginata. For example, if someone eats undercooked pork or undercooked beef, right? So improperly cooked pork or beef. Let us say someone has eaten undercooked pork or beef. Undercooked pork or beef. What will happen is that within this undercooked pork or beef, within this, you basically eat the muzzle of that, right? So within the muzzle of this pork and beef, I mean the pig and cow, you have got cysticerci within that. Okay, so within this undercooked pork or beef, you have got what? You have got cysticerci. Where do you have cysticerci? You have got this cysticerci within the muzzle. Okay, within the muzzle of this pig or cow. Now you have eaten it up. Now once you have ingested it, what is going to happen? What is going to happen is that obviously it is going to enter into your body, right? So from the mouth it will enter into your stomach, from the stomach it will enter into your small intestine. I am not going to draw the entire human here, but rather I will just show you the small intestine. Okay, so let us say, just a rough picture. Let us say that this is the small intestine. Okay, so it is going to enter into the small intestine like this. This is the small intestine, right? So it would enter into the small intestine. The cysticercus will enter into the small intestine. Now how does a cysticercus look? Look here. This is how a cysticercus looks. Okay, this is how a cysticercus looks. Now, what is the shape of the cysticercus? You have got some inverted scolex. Now, this part which I have drawn inside this balloon or ball, whatever it is, so this is called as scolex. Scolex is nothing but the head of this parasite. Okay, so that head is inverted inside. So this is called as an inverted scolex, and inverted scolex is present in cysticercus. This is inverted scolex shaped. Inverted scolex shape. And this is nothing but called as cysticerci. This is the cysticerci. Now what will happen is that this inverted scolex which has been invaginated inside, it will come out, right? It will evaginate out. So when it will evaginate out, how does the picture look, guys? When it will evaginate out, this is how the picture is going to look. This is how the picture is going to look. You see, what has happened is that the scolex has got evaginated outside. You see, the picture is very clear, right? So in case of cysticerci, the scolex is invaginated inside that globe, inside that cysticerci, right? Now look at this picture, that from the cysticerci, the scolex has been evaginated outside. So this is called as scolex. Now, this is the picture of Taenia solium. This is a picture of what? Taenia solium. Now, if you compare with the picture of Taenia Saginata, how does the picture look is that? So, this is how the picture looks. This is a scolex over here, okay, and look here. You have got 1, 2, 3 as well as 4. Now, what are these things? What are these things are? Let me tell you. Yeah, what are these things are? Look here. This is called as hook. So where are hooks present? Hooks are present in Taenia solium. And by the way, this is called as Taenia Saginata. Taenia Saginata. Hooks are absent in Taenia Saginata. Second important thing is that these are called as suckers. What are these called? These are called suckers. Okay, these are called as suckers. Now suckers are present both in Taenia solium as well as Taenia Saginata, but the only difference is that in Taenia Saginata, when you look at the suckers, these suckers are hyperpigmented. You see, this is how they are hyperpigmented. These suckers are basically hyperpigmented in Taenia Saginata. This is the only difference. So with the help of these hooks and suckers, what will happen is that this Taenia solium and this Taenia Saginata gets attached with the intestine. So they adhere to the intestine in this way. Look here. They adhere to the intestine like this. So let us say this is the hook and these both are the suckers. So this is the hook over here. These are the suckers. You see, with the help of the hooks and suckers, as well as suckers, this Taenia solium or Taenia Saginata is adhered or attached to the intestine. Once it gets attached to the intestine, what will happen is that this Taenia solium or Taenia Saginata will further develop into adults. Okay, so this will further develop into what? It will further develop into an adult worms. So adult worms are really big, isn't it? So let us say this is the opening over here. These are the hooks, and side you have got your suckers, and all the way down from that you have got this worm. All the way down from that you have got this adult worm. So this is your adult worm. So what has happened, guys? Overall just revise it. What has happened is that in this patient, when he has eaten undercooked pork or beef, if he has eaten undercooked pork, also cysticercus will enter. If he has eaten undercooked beef, also the cysticercus will enter. But if you look here, whatever it is, undercooked pork or beef intake will cause the entry of cysticercus into the small intestine. Now within the small intestine, with the help of the suckers, what is going to happen with the help of the scolex, right? So what did I tell you? This is the scolex. With the help of the scolex, the Taenia solium as well as Taenia saginata, they get attached. For example, if he has eaten pig, right, pork, undercooked pork, Taenia solium will attach. If he has eaten undercooked beef, Taenia saginata will attach. So once they are attached with the help of these suckers, what will happen is that the next stage is after attachment. Okay, let me write here. Attachment. Attachment to intestine. Now once after attachment to intestine, this will further develop into an adult worm. So if I ask you a question, that where adult worms are formed within the small intestine. Now what are these adult worms gonna do, guys? Yeah, what are these adult worms gonna do? These adult worms gonna release eggs. Okay, so these are the eggs that are released by adult worms, and obviously there is no surprise that these eggs have got such things called as hooklets, and this egg which I have drawn right now is common for both Taenia solium as well as Taenia saginata. Okay, so these are called as hooklets. Now once they are defecated, right, so these are the eggs basically which you see in feces. These are the eggs which you see in feces. Now these eggs are eaten up by the pigs or the cows. Okay, these eggs are ingested. These eggs are ingested by what? These eggs are ingested by pigs or cows. Okay, now once these eggs are ingested by pigs or cows, what is going to happen is that within these pigs and cows, the eggs will hatch, the eggs will break loose. Okay, the egg will open up, and when the egg will open up, what is going to release, right? So let me write it down. What is going to happen is that within these pigs and cows, the eggs will hatch. Once the eggs will hatch, from the egg what comes out, guys? Yeah, what comes out? What comes out is oncospheres. Oncospheres will hatch. And these oncospheres will develop into cysticerci in the muscle. These oncospheres will develop into cysticerci in the muscles. And if someone has eaten an improperly cooked muscle, I mean the pork or the beef, then obviously again the same cycle is gonna repeat. Okay, so this is the basic cycle which you need to know. Main difference is regarding the host. The second important difference is regarding the scolex, right? Regarding the scolex. So let us discuss some minute differences between Taenia saginata as well as Taenia solium. Now what will be the minute differences between Taenia saginata as well as Taenia solium? So let us discuss one by one. The first minute difference, if you look at the length of the worm, adult worm in Taenia saginata and Taenia solium, the adult worm here would be around 5 to 10 meters. Whereas here it would be around 2 to 3 meters. Second important thing is that if you look at the scolex, what did I tell you guys in Taenia saginata? How is the scolex? I've drawn it already, right? So I'm not going to draw it again. Let us look at the scolex here. Okay, let us look at the scolex here itself. In Taenia saginata, the scolex is what? Somewhat quadrate shaped, right? So it is somewhat large as well as quadrate shaped. Now look at the scolex of Taenia solium. It is small and it is globular in shape. So this is somewhat like a quadrate shape like this, and this is somewhat a globular shape, isn't it? So the next difference which we gonna make out is that The in Taenia saginata, the scolex is large and quadrate. Large and quadrate, whereas in Taenia solium the scolex is small and globular. And where were the hooks present, guys? The hooks were present in Taenia solium, right? The hooks are present in Taenia solium, and hooks in case of Taenia saginata were absent. And second important thing is that regarding the pigmentation I told you, so the suckers are pigmented where saginata or solium. Obviously in saginata the suckers are hyperpigmented, whereas here they are not hyperpigmented, they are hypopigmented. Third important thing is that if you look at the neck, below the scolex, whatever is there, that is called as the neck. Okay, so I hope all of you know this thing, right? So this is called as your neck region. This is called as the neck region. So if you look at the neck, I mean I haven't drawn here properly, but if you look at the neck of the real Taenia saginata as well as Taenia solium, the neck here it would be long. The neck here it would be long, and here the neck will be small, short. The neck will be short. Fourth important thing is that regarding the uterus. Obviously Taenia saginata and Taenia solium, both of them have the uterus. But there is a slight difference. What is the slight difference? The slight difference is that if you look at Taenia saginata, there will be in the center, for example, this is Taenia saginata. In the center of Taenia saginata, you will have a uterine tube. Now from this uterine tube, you will have lateral branches like this. You will have lateral branches on both the sides. Now how are these branches branching off? In a dichotomous manner, isn't it? They are branching in a dichotomous manner. And how many branches can we expect? There would be around 15 to 30 lateral branches. The same picture goes on with the Taenia solium, but there would be around hardly 5 to 10 lateral branches. Next, fifth important thing regarding the vagina. So Taenia saginata has got vagina, and this does not have vagina. Okay. Next important thing is the larva. When it comes to the larva that is released by Taenia saginata is called cysticerci bovis. But the larva which is released by Taenia solium is cysticerci cellulose. And obviously the definitive host, all of you know, here it would be man, there it would be pig. Okay, the definitive host, all of you know, in both of them it will be man. But whereas in case of Taenia solium it is pig, whereas in case of Taenia saginata the intermediate host is cow. Okay. Now what are the diseases? That are caused? What are the diseases that are caused by Taenia saginata as well as Taenia solium? The diseases that are caused by Taenia saginata are intestinal Taeniasis. Okay, intestinal Taeniasis, whereas in case of Taenia solium it is intestinal Taeniasis as well as cysticercosis. Again, intestinal Taeniasis and cysticercosis. Okay. So this is all you need to know regarding this particular topic, guys, that is Taenia solium and Taenia saginata. Thank you so much for watching my lecture. Goodbye.